So you can tell that attendance is about the same. And you can also tell that there are more unexcused absences. The middle one is staff attendance. And you can see by the middle chart that we are about the same with staff attendance than we were last time this year. And we've filled 6,652 positions. And through the school year, you can see discipline referrals are up. And we believe that that's partly due to our adherence to and absolute adherence to making sure that everything is reported accurately in Infinite Campus. For example, all bus referrals are entered in Infinite Campus now. They were not at the beginning of last school year. So here is a slide show really that shows these different things broken down. So this is student average daily attendance rates. The next one is staff average daily attendance rates. And this is behavior occurrences. So all types of behavior. And again, everything is being entered into the same database into Infinite Campus. So back to the data dashboard. Again, the key metrics are staff attendance, student attendance, and total behavioral incidents. So I wanted to make sure that I drill deeper, even though the dashboard isn't ready to do that. I actually get a report every week about how many vacancies we have, which will come later in your agenda.
Thank you, Dr. Harkins. Moving on to, I'm sorry, Dr. Wilner.
I just wanted to ask Dr. Harkins a question about the report. And first of all, I really appreciate the data focus of the report, so thank you for that. And it looks like the three big things that you pulled out, the student attendance, staff attendance, those are both holding pretty solid.
That's right.
What would you like for us to understand about the big increase in behavior incidents?
And again, I believe it's due, and we have a review team that is looking at all the incidences. So that's part of our new behavior support and intervention system, is that it's constantly reviewed by a group of stakeholders, both in-house and external stakeholders. So we believe preliminarily that it is because everything is being entered into this single database, that the number of referrals that you see is going up. So I think that's partially the reason. The other thing is we consider that actually not to be a negative but a positive. What that says in our review is that teachers and principals are working to intervene early to help students learn to make better choices. So intervening early is not a bad thing. So again, but we'll be monitoring that. I will bring this same dashboard back to you every meeting so you can see where we are at every meeting.
Thank you.
Ms. Horn and then Ms. Brady.
We had a really great work session earlier where we looked at some of the more longer term metrics, and we talked about the gap, and I wondered if you could tell us a little bit. I know the U.S. Secretary of Education is looking at Kentucky, and saying that Kentucky needs to address the academic achievement gap separating black and white students. And it said that in the last 4 years in Jefferson County, the gap in reading and math achievement between black and white students has widened. So that has been, in the last 4 years, it is widening. And so I think this isn't like a partisan issue at all. I think it's just an issue that affects our children greatly. And I'm just trying to understand, we see that everything is going, like you just presented, in the right direction. But how can that be in the right direction? How can we rationalize that everything is going in the right direction when we have this gap widening between black students and white students?
And Dr. Dossett in that chart indicates the gap that exists. So Dr. Dossett really actually spoke to that. When you look at the rate of improvement of all the groups. In order to close the gap, you have to accelerate the improvement of the student group that you're trying to catch up to the other group. And as was indicated by Dr. Marshall, we want every student to be proficient. We want every student to grow academically. So we want every group to be growing, but we have to continue our efforts to make sure that we accelerate the group with the lowest performance to catch the group with the higher performance. So if you increase at the same rate, the gap stays the same, right? If all groups increase at the same rate, the gap stays the same. So we know that we have to accelerate a group of students to be able to catch.
I'm just really concerned that we're not differentiating between students. We're giving resources to schools. And there are a lot of students that actually need this assistance. I'm really hopeful that we can work on this.
Mr. Brady.
Thank you, Vice Chair.